This week on Wisconsin Foodie.
Justin Carlisle, chef owner of Ardent. The style of restaurant that it is, it's, everybody's made fun of me for years on it. It's a personal style restaurant. I don't know many chefs that are fortunate enough to have their family raising their beef for them.
To see the kind of food that Justin creates is mind-boggling.
Inside the windows here to my right is Ardent Restaurant, one of the brightest spots in not just Wisconsin dining, but American dining. Chef Justin Carlisle, who was born and bred Wisconsin boy, took that experience, that edict, that sense of what our tastes are all about, and turned it into something fine. Not just fine dining, it's a new style of haute casual cuisine. It's terroir played out across the plate. It's Ardent.
Justin Carlisle, chef owner of Ardent. You got a gougere down in front of you. Ardent is strong and extreme and warm, and it's a very personal statement that we're trying to make here. As you can see from outside, there's no big signs of lights or anything that you see from the street. We're hidden in a basement. We have a fogged out front door that just has an A on it. We don't want people to come in with thoughts of what we should be. It's this style of a restaurant. Is it that style of restaurant? We named Ardent so that it wouldn't tie back to anybody. This isn't just my restaurant, it's mine and my employees and my entire staff's restaurant. It's more the philosophy of making this statement and producing these things that we feel very passionate about and sharing it with the clients that come in. I always wanted a smaller, intimate place. We're a restaurant of 6 tables and 7 bar seats, 23 seats. We have a wide open kitchen, we have a wide open bar. You see us cooking, we don't really have wait staff. Us as cooks come out to the table, we talk to every single guest that are here. Well, sure, the large restaurants are wonderful and the tablecloths and fine china and everything else, but it's really about the food and interacting with your customers and giving them an experience. You would come into the restaurant and you have an expectation as a diner of me to what the food quality is, what you're going to expect, and how your service is. But yet, I have known nothing about you. So how was this? It was kind of uneven to me. We do tasting menus here, and most of it's roughly right around 8 courses, sometimes more or less. We involve snacks in the beginning and the end. We do take-homes usually, but we're usually trying to do something in progression. In theory, kind of telling a story, but telling a story on where we live and the things that we like. Then we also accommodate on dietary needs. As long as we know dietary needs ahead of time, we accommodate tasting menus for anybody, with those same philosophies and those same flavor profiles that we go on. The style of restaurant that it is, it's everybody's made fun of me for years on it. It's a personal style restaurant. It's food that I grew up on. It's food that my grandma used to make. But it's very Midwestern, they categorize it. It's easy, okay, it's modern Midwestern. It's really our personal food and food that we're now transforming from our childhood into how we envision it and want to eat it now. Growing up on a farm, it was normal for me in life to grow the food that you had to survive on year-round, and I always wanted to get back to making things full circle. Everything to me should be full circle. I grew up on a beef farm, so if I'm in the food service industry and in the culinary world, I should probably be serving my father's beef. If not, it's kind of wrong if you'd come into my restaurant knowing that I came from a beef farm, but I'm not serving my family's beef. That never made sense to me. We're driving out here. This is kind of the country of Sparta. Sparta is obviously in the northwest country, but going towards smaller towns like Angelo and Cataract and Melrose and Mindoro, and these are small rural towns, and a lot of it all was farming communities, and now slowly the farms have dissipated, and for the most part in this area it's been the same generations of family livings, and it's just trying to keep that community surviving. So I grew up on the farm here all my life, born in Sparta, grew up here. Growing up this way has affected my entire life cooking-wise, because I grew up where food sources was. So for me to get things shipped in or to go and buy products from a large producer, a large purveyor, never really sat easy with me, because for me I felt like then I wasn't really giving back to the way that I grew up. Most of my life I always talked with my father about, the dream is if I ever have my own restaurant that I would want him to be the beef producer for it. To me, there's nothing better than to have it come full circle in my life where I grew up and the people that supported me and nourished me and brought me up into the world, and now I can give back to them, but also show that the small producers of beef and dairy in that area in Wisconsin where I grew up from, I'm very proud of, and to showcase how well they are and how well products that we have here are produced.
I got into farming mainly I was born and raised here at this farm, and always been pretty much in the farming business. So my grandparents and my folks moved here in 1932, and then from that time on accumulated the assets, and finally my father bought the farm in 1960. We presently run 40 brood cows, mother cows, beef cattle, and sell either breeding stock or cattle for Justin's restaurant.
I don't know how he does it, he's worked on it so many years, but there's always is it organic or is it grass-fed or is it certain ways of doing it? Well, for him, he just raises them right. The cattle that he raises, it's amazing, and it's my family farm, so I know they're raised right. I get to see them all the time. I see animals from the calf to when they come to the restaurant. I watch my father take care of them. We talk about the feeding patterns, what he's feeding them, the ingredients that he's feeding them, how long he's feeding certain things for.
I did not think Justin would ever get into the cooking world. He worked in restaurants when he was in high school and thought that was the worst job in the world. His brother went on to school, and his brother went down to Ishnala, which is a nice supper club in the Dells, and it was when Justin graduated from high school, just before he went into the military. It was his last summer with his brother, and he begged to have a job, and they let him do any dirty dog's body kind of job. But he worked hard, and they wanted him back the next year. They promised him that he would be online, and he was online a week, and he called, "Mother, we need to change my major." And away he went. And I must say, when he told me he was going to have the new restaurant, and it was before he got very far, I said, "What are you going to call it?" And he said, "Ardent." I thought, oh, that's a real catchy name. And I didn't think much about it. And I was talking to a friend, and he said to me, "Ardent? Why would you say Ardent?" So I described Ardent. I defined it. And I said, oh my goodness, this is my child. Justin has always been very passionate about things he's cared about. He has always been willing to work very hard. But that passion is what fuels him. Of course, I expected, having worked at the Greenbrier and True, I expected that he would work in a big city for a big, fancy, big-name restaurant. I didn't think that he would create his own name, which he's been able to do. That's amazing for us.
So now we're going to drive to our butcher shop. It's called Craig's Meat. It's in Mindoro, Wisconsin, so roughly about 20 minutes from the farm. We've been dealing with Craig's all of my life, and I don't know how long my father's been dealing with them, but as long as I remember that they've been pretty much our butcher shop, and we take our venison during hunting season to them, and also the beef that we slaughter. So we want to really just keep on doing that, and that's why we have it processed up here and drive from Milwaukee up here to get it and come back. We'd rather keep the money within this this area and back within that family, so that tradition in their family, just as the same as the beef tradition in my family, can just keep on surviving. How are we doing, Gary?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good.
Nice to see you.
Here to pick up some beef? A lot of this, like the beef fat, is left over from our carcass. So we pick it up here. We buy our Braunschweiger. If we don't make it, we'll buy it from him. This is the same recipe that he's had for years and I grew up with. We've made small batches of Braunschweiger down at us just to try it out.
Yep.
Everybody loves it.
Yep.
So it's easier if you already have it all here then.
We have another one that's oatmeal sausage.
Yeah, okay.
It really goes over good.
Excellent, we can try that.
In here is where we do all of our sausage making. It's our sausage room. Now we'll go into the actual smokehouse area. This right here is one of the smokehouses running. It actually has venison in it that we're cooking and smoking.
For me, when I know the people that are processing my meat, talking on the phone with them and planning it, and that incorporates into the restaurant and the menu on what we have, and unfortunately that has gotten lost in a lot of aspects of my profession and just in society in general.
Wisconsin Foodie would like to thank the following underwriters for their support: Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board and the Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin. Society Insurance, small details, big difference. Outpost Natural Foods Co-op. Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Illing Company, creating packaging solutions for you. Fab Wisconsin, the regional food and beverage industry cluster. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. WMSE 91.7 FM, Frontier Radio. The Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board and the Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin are proud to support Wisconsin Foodie, helping viewers celebrate our state's vibrant food culture. With nearly 11,000 family dairy farms, the Wisconsin dairy industry generates more than $26 billion annually for the Wisconsin economy and brings recognition to the state for producing award-winning cheeses.
I've had Society Insurance for my restaurant from the beginning because I know they understand my business and how it's evolving and how the industry is evolving. You're going to have the coverage and the support you need for your unique operation.
The Milwaukee region has the highest concentration of jobs in food, beverage, and ingredients manufacturing in the nation. From production to processing, right down to our plates, our regional food industry offers career opportunities to fulfill your dreams and feed the world.